All right. Oh yeah. So what's up, guys? It's me, your boy Joey the Bandit. You already know what it is, nigga. Let me turn this a little bit different. Set the ambiance. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Exposure's hella weird. There we go. Set the ambience. Hold up. And then we gotta go. Hold up. Uh, less white balance. Let's see. Yeah, saturation a little bit higher. Yeah, and then contrast. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I set the ambiance. Anyways, broke ass niggas. Anyways, I'm gonna watch this video. It's called "Twisted Psychology of Mobile FAILvertising." Wow. I hate those ads. You know what I'm talking about, like bullshit. Like it's the ad and it looks like it's the game, but as soon as you download it, it's not the game. I'm pretty sure that's what this is about. So let's watch it. Let's see what the dude's got to talk about. What he's talking about.
All right, here's the intro.
Yep. See,
Mobile gaming, not just the games themselves, but also the advertising framework, is a sandbox of psychological manipulation. Today I want to talk about precisely why it works on a little over half the population. Because odds are if you chose to click on this, it probably works on you. First things first, we need definitions. Fail advertising, particularly in terms of mobile gaming, refers to an advertisement where a very basic simulated user experience on screen ends in failure, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll show some examples in the back.
Of course, like it's like they lose on purpose, like horribly. Like it's so obvious they could have beat it, but they chose to lose on purpose. So you're like, oh, I could beat that game. It looks super easy. Let me get it, and you download it real quick. It's like it's so stupid. Honestly, honestly, I'm surprised people fall for it. I think I fell for it once, and after that, I was like, yeah, it's bullshit.
But the gist of it is that you'll have a game. Some of the major culprits of this would be Top War, Evoni, Royal Match, etc. And many others I'm sure a lot of people might already be familiar with.
You're so stupid.
You have a game where extremely basic choices are being made, and most importantly, they're being made incorrectly. Yeah. It's usually a 15 to 30 second overall experience where the user makes a couple of good choices, then a couple of bad ones, ultimately making some sort of massive blunder, after which they fail, obviously, hence the name. But the entire premise of the ad is to keep you watching or cause you to download the game. Yeah. And again, for a little over half the online population, it's incredibly effective. I've talked about these kinds of ads before, mostly just criticizing them.
Dumb people.
But today I want to change it up a little bit and focus on why they even work in the first place, because it's actually extremely interesting. It ties into the concept of MBTI personality types, if you can believe that. If you stick around for the rest of the video, you might even learn something about yourself. Cool. Now that I've got the hook out of the way, let's talk about the rabbit hole. Online advertising is an incredibly complex beast, but one of the things that determines what you see more of is actually what you choose to watch in the first place. Let's say you get shown two ads back to back. One of them is for hamburgers, the other is for French fries. You, being a hypothetical, let's say, I don't know, vegetarian in this case, or maybe you just don't like hamburgers, immediately click skip on the first ad. But the second ad has a song that's kind of catchy, or a flashy visual that captivates you, and you spend an extra 5 or 10 seconds listening to it absent-mindedly. Well, that's an inconsequential detail on our end, but for the advertising algorithm, it's a pretty big deal. You immediately skipped the hamburger ad, but not the one for French fries, so maybe you're susceptible to buying some French fries, and now your account gets tagged with some sort of identifier, whatever proprietary system they have.
I hate that too. It's like always like that. Like I get one ad I click on and look at, and then everything in my algorithm is ads for that fucking type of item. So annoying. So annoying. Does it,
which makes it far more likely that you'll be shown ads for, I don't know, potato products, tater tots, French fries, etc., and far less likely that you'll ever be shown additional advertisements for hamburgers or maybe steak. Yeah. It's a stupid example, I know, and extremely rudimentary at that, but the point is to illustrate that by watching something, the algorithms begin to think that you might like that thing, or at the very least that you may be susceptible to using or buying that thing. Yeah. And the longer you watch, the more they're inclined to show it to you. This is important later on because it's the reason why the advertising rabbit hole of mobile game fail ads.
Like, honestly, like, who looked at this ad and think, that's a fun game? Like, for real. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
This in the first.
Even if, like, you're like, oh, that person sucks. Let me try and beat it. It's like, I don't know. I guess he's going to explain it, but still, this game just doesn't look, and any of the games just don't look fun to me.
For right now, it's a very simple.
That's where it works on old people.
Advertisements get shown to you, and if you watch them through to the end, similar ones keep getting shown to you more and more often.
Oh, yeah.
This is where it gets interesting. After watching some of these fail ads for myself and after realizing that my entire social media feed was now dominated by
Yeah.
them incessantly, I set out to understand what had actually happened to me and why some people that I talked to about all of it had no idea what I was even saying. Why was my social media feed completely subsumed by this phenomenon? Why
Mm.
did I catch myself watching these ads for 10, 15, 20 seconds longer than others? And why wasn't the same thing true for other people? It was certainly true for some others, yes, but not everyone. So what was happening? Here's what
Mm.
I found. It
Okay.
turns out there's this thing, a fairly well studied psychological phenomenon that is, called self enhancement bias, which
Hmm.
refers to, quote, people's general tendency to endorse self views in various domains that are more favorable than is warranted by objective reality, end quote. More
Okay.
simplified, self enhancement bias refers to a
Thank
near
you.
universal phenomenon where human beings tend to have inflated views of their own character or abilities in this case, even when those opinions have no objective evidence.
Hmm.
Basically, we think we're better than we are. Well, that's all well and
I mean,
good,
yeah,
but it
that
goes a
makes
couple steps
sense.
further. According to a survey conducted by 16 personalities, which asked participants to respond to a statement that said, deep down, do you enjoy feeling superior to others? Quote, the thinking trait was by far the most influential factor in whether our readers agreed that they enjoy feeling superior to others,
Yeah.
with
Who
thinking
doesn't?
personality types, 81%, agreeing at a rate 22% higher than feeling types,
Hmm.
59%. Because analysts push aside emotion and empathy in favor of logic, it's easy for them to take their observations of other people to their seemingly
A
logical
logical
conclusions.
conclusion. Yeah.
End quote. Now, bear with me here, because
Okay.
thinking in this case refers to the MBTI
Yo, thanks for the
personality
follow, Sleepy
index, which has
Goku's.
things like introvert, extrovert, thinking, or feeling. You probably took the test back in high school, at least if you live in America. And this particular survey from 16 personalities indicates that people with the thinking trait actually typically get a sense of enjoyment from feeling superior, which
Weird.
creates an interesting situation. Not only do human
Okay.
beings have a tendency to overestimate themselves, the substantial portion of them also get a distinct sense of enjoyment out of feeling superior.
Hmm.
It's a potent combination.
Weird.
However, that's only 2 points of the ultimate trifecta because there's
I mean,
one.
I guess it does. It would feel good to be like I'm superior, but like I don't know. You gotta humble yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Like stay humble. That's all you
More
gotta
piece of the
do.
puzzle here. Dunning Kruger, clinically known as
Dunning
illusory
Kruger.
superiority. Dunning
Huh.
Kruger, named after Cornell University psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999, is
Mm.
essentially a description of how confidence does not actually correlate with competence, creating an
Mm.
effect where people with extremely low aptitude or intelligence think extremely highly of themselves, even beyond the people who legitimately do possess high levels of capability. It's a somewhat debated principle lately, to be fair, but if you consider these three concepts all together, it makes for a very interesting picture. All
Weird.
human beings, it seems, have a tendency to overestimate themselves.
Of
Those with the
course.
thinking and judging personality traits, which is a hefty chunk of the population overall,
Mm.
derive a sense of enjoyment out of feeling superior. And those with low competency
Oh,
or
thanks, bro.
intelligence
Appreciate
are
that.
inversely the most confident. Hopefully, everyone can see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Also, to be clear, after spending as much time as I have researching everything, I'm left sitting here wondering whether or not I'm actually just an idiot myself, because I catch myself watching these ads for an extra 10
I
or
mean,
15
granted.
seconds.
Okay, so like, I guess that's why they work. I get it. It's people like I'm better than that person. I gotta prove that I'm better. But like, if I can't show anybody else who gives a fuck that I'm better than these people at this, then it doesn't matter to me. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be able to show off. Like that's I know that about myself. I like to show off. You know what I mean? Like so like if like that's why like I like competitive gaming or like MMOs and stuff like that. I like to try to grind to be like top, the best I can be. Even though I'm like dog shit at a lot of shit I play, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm obviously not like number one on any video game. I'm not in a pro league or nothing like that. But you know, I at least try. You know, and I also get enjoyment out of it. But I don't ever get hung up on it if I'm not. But
This
yeah.
way more often than I should. Fail ads, particularly for mobile games, deliberately prey on these three psychological
Yeah,
principles,
I
where
bet they
not only
do.
do people
It
overestimate themselves,
works.
but the idiots overestimate themselves the most, while anyone with
The
particular
idiots do.
personality
Yeah.
traits derive satisfaction from the idea
I just couldn't see myself like falling for that. I don't know. I guess it's for stupid people. There's a lot of stupid people. It makes
that they're
sense.
superior. Somehow, the mobile game industry, of course it did, obviously, they're as
Hmm.
predatory as it gets, has discovered that you
Yeah.
can effectively target about
Microtransactions.
64% of the population, in my estimation, according to MBTI stats, and then refine that targeting even further so that you have an advertisement which simultaneously conveys an impending sense of satisfaction if the person just downloads the game and does better than that dumbass who's playing in the ad, and hyper targets
Like
people.
if you can't see the advertisement for what it is and like how they're trying to get you, like you're probably deserve to get got with the microtransactions.
With low aptitude, capability,
Like
and intelligence, which is a demographic far, far more likely to spend hefty amounts of time on their phone to begin with. And
yeah,
if you're curious where I got that information from, there's an abundance of research on how
lower
smartphone usage
cognitive
affects
abilities,
cognitive abilities,
less self
including
control.
everything from games to social media. The point is,
Well,
fail ad
well, maybe I'm in that category. Who knows?
represent a devious and hyper targeted strategy to prey on human weakness and attract a particularly vulnerable set of people. For better or for worse, judge me if you want to, I've caught myself watching these mobile ads for a few extra seconds at least, waiting to see what decision the player will make, right? The player in air quotes, like
Yeah.
the player that's
The
playing in
fake
the
player.
advertisement, even though it's not a real person, and smirking to myself how stupid they are when they make the wrong one. I could obviously do better, is the thought
I
that runs
mean,
through every.
that's not. That's not the thought that runs through my mouth. I mean, in my head, I'm like, I look at it and I just go, "There's just the game is dumb. Like the advertisers are stupid. Like, I don't ever think it works, but it works. I guess I don't know. I don't get competitive over those dumbass games.
Everyone's mind, not just me. And that is because we fell into a psychological trap. The advertising algorithm of whatever platform we're on, either Twitter or YouTube in my
Yeah.
case, typically, it's happened with both of them now, decided to show us more of those ads because we watch them longer. And the result is a vicious feedback loop where we now have an overabundance of mobile game advertisements where the player, air quotes there, it's not a real player, but the player in the ad is just stupidly, blatantly failing. And
Yeah,
all
on
these
purpose,
ads show up on
to get you.
practically everything we
You can't
watch.
see the hustle in that. That's crazy to me. Like they do it on purpose. Like you could tell it's purposefully. They're purposefully failing to make you feel like you should get the game to prove that you're better than somebody who's actually not playing the game. It's like, are you serious? I don't know. People are dumb.
On
People
the
are
one
just
hand, it's
stupid.
completely obnoxious, but on the other, I very clearly brought it down on myself. Pulling it back full circle now, the reason that you, yes, you, the viewer, watch, fall for, or see a ridiculous amount of these advertisements in your feed
I
is
don't
one of
see them a
three
lot.
different
I
reasons.
block them as
You
soon
are
as I see ads.
either
I don't
A,
see it again.
part of the thinking personality
As
type who feels an
as
impending
soon as I
sense
see any ads I'm tired of seeing, I say, "Do not show me again. Figure something else to show me," because it gets annoying.
of satisfaction because you know you
Or I
can do better
report
than the
it.
person in the ad,
You know.
which gives you the urge to download and play it and do it better. B, an idiot who's overestimating their own capabilities, aka Dunning-Kruger. Or C, both of those things, which might sound very insulting, kind of is, but it's also reality because there's a reason that you see those ads. There's a reason the mobile game companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars making them, and there's a reason they work. This part didn't really make it into the final video fully, but I also did go down a rabbit hole of looking at what companies are doing this, what the budgets are, and where they're located,
They probably
with
make
some
so
pretty
money.
extreme examples. Blue Vision Interactive out of Hong
In Hong
Kong is
Kong,
running
yeah.
roughly 50,000
Tencent.
campaigns right now, most of which are some variation of mobile fail ads. Nexters Global,
It
which only
works.
targets one of the games doing this, I forget the name now, but it's this right here on screen, has over 4,000 ads running at this particular point in time.
Like the fucking psychology behind it, like they studied this shit for like months and years, bro. They're so trash. I know these Chinese people, like they study mind control every day. I know that's what my saturation's way too high. I'm like I look orange. Anyways, they're studying this shit every fucking day, looking like trying to like figure out how to get people to buy their shit, man. I'm telling you, such a
Again,
crazy,
pretty much
like
every
so
single
crazy
one
to me.
using the same psychological model. And the truth is, we wouldn't be seeing this kind of volume if it didn't work. Mobile
Yeah.
games already are, they exist in an extremely competitive atmosphere.
I generally think people think the games look fun, and I think they prey a lot on young people too, like young kids, young adults. Like they're the people who are gonna be gullible for these kind of things. Like obviously, like I've fallen for one of these ads before, once. I don't think it happened twice. Pretty much once, yeah. But like, I doubt it was like I forgot what game it was, but it wasn't the same game. I don't even know if I fell for it for real. I think it was like I wanted to see if it was real, and it wasn't. I don't know. But still, it's nonetheless like it's so stupid. Wait, say scams too. The games they show, the game you get are entirely different too. Yeah, and they're completely different. Like you're getting completely scammed. And then you have fucking ad walls. They have to skip through every time you're playing the game. And then if you wanted to get rid of the ad walls, you gotta pay monthly, or you gotta pay up front for the like a fee for the ad. And then they have microtransactions in the game to get you to spend more money so you can progress or play every day, because they probably limit how many times you can play or how far you can progress within the day. But if you want to get past that wall, you pay us $1. It's only $1, and you can play for another 7 hours. You know what I mean? And these people are just locked in, just another dollar, or however much, whatever their currency in the game is. You know, it's like it's so dumb. It's so crazy to me. And people do it and they enjoy it, I guess. I mean, everybody has their little thing. I mean, there's people who gamble, you know, straight pushing a button on the screen, trying to hit a jackpot, dumping their entire fucking paycheck into it, and they come out maybe with like $200 and be like, "Oh, I'm done. Like, I'm broke. I can't afford food this month." Like, it's crazy to me.
When it comes to advertising in the first place.
It's completely low IQ people who fall for these things. 110%. People with high IQs, they don't fall for these things.
So the emergence of this new methodology, the methodology of the fail, as I call it, is an indication that there's...
Not just IQ. Sometimes people, they have to learn life experiences, you know. You don't know. And if you, some people have to learn the hard way. You know, people could tell them all day, like, that's not real, trust me. And they're like, I'm going to see for myself. And then they get it and like, oh, shit, you know. And then after that, they learn their lesson. Sometimes it takes some people a little bit, you know, to learn the lesson. But, yeah.
A lot of people susceptible to it. Very susceptible to it. A lot of people are falling
or some people are just dumb. But, yeah.
For it. And there's a very good reason why they keep doing it. In the end, rather than simply complaining about the ads themselves, which I've done before, I want to take some time and try to figure out why they exist in the first place. Yes, I feel kind of stupid now because obviously they've worked on me to a degree where my watch time made the algorithm show a lot more of them to me. But
I've clicked on the ads and watched them just to be like, you know, like talk shit about that. Like, this game is so dumb. Like, why would anybody download? I've commented on them, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, it's never to the point where I go and give these people money. Never. Like, I'm a hard motherfucker to get money out of.
I also had fun learning new things.
I'm stingy as a bitch.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one as well. Let me know anything else that you'd like to see down in the comment section. Links down below to support as well. A special VPN deal, locals and Patreon, merchandise, social media, etc., etc. A bunch of good stuff. Check it out. But I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
Upper Echelon puts in the work on his videos. That's why he has 725,000 subscribers. He puts in that work.